Peace and love and light to all of you beautiful conscious beings. My name is Damarie Alma Bay. I am the consciousness coach. This is Eden Rose, and Eden Rose is a way of life. I want to say thank you. Hello. Welcome, welcome. I am going live today from my laptop because I'm sick and tired of this editing game and trying to make things work. So I decided that I'm just going to do the live video thing because so many of my divine love readings have been not able to be uploaded onto YouTube, and I'm just kind of getting tired of it. So what I decided is that I'm just going to start doing lives every day, and this divine reading will be done on live. The first part is going to be done on Facebook, which I just got off of Facebook moments ago, with the first portion of it, and of course the second portion is going to be done here on YouTube. So we pulled. Oh wow, did I put it back in? Yeah, I shuffled already. So in the reading that I did earlier for Divine Love, we pulled the most beautiful cards. This reading, I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to go ahead and allow Spirit to bring forth any new or repetitive messages if it wants to. I like to start fresh rather than continue, so that's what we're going to do, okay? So the first card out of the gate is the Vessel. I'm going to show you in a second. Too many. I'm going to pull three. So these three cards are going to be speaking about the general energy between both of the twins, both of the divine partners, okay? Both masculine and feminine energies. This is a combination of their energies, what we are all bringing forth, what we are creating together as a unit. A unit. Today my speech is all over the place. Hello, young man. My son's home today.
Music.
It's beautiful music. Thank you very much. We got about 15 minutes, okay? Okay. Off you go. Okay, second card, third card. Oh, yes. So this symbol has been totally following me for the last little while. So what we have is the Vessel. We have the Stone. And we have the Sword. So what's happening here? Between the two energies, Reese Adolphus. No, that's not going to work for me. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Excuse me. Take this away. It's not going to work for me. Please and thank you. It has to be further in. It's too loud. More. I can hear it very clearly. Not to worry, okay? That is perfect. Thank you so much. What's happening is the Divine Masculine is ready to start manifesting some shit. Divine Masculine is like already decided. He sees the Divine Feminine. He knows who she is. He is 100% directing his attention now to her. He is doing his best now to anchor all of the things that he's wanting. He wants to manifest the shit out of their relationship. He's not entirely sure how yet, but once he starts on that track, it's going to be like fireworks everywhere, okay? He's got his sword. He's ready to go to battle. He is in alignment with the moon and the sun energy. He's in alignment. Like, these are two equally yoked people. Wow, that's crazy. That's what I'm seeing out of this with the sword. He's ready to fight for the balance between the balance in this relationship. He's ready to fight whatever that fight entails. Whether I don't see it as being fighting against other entities, but it's more or less putting in the energy, putting in the time that's required in order to make this a thing. He is ready to go to bat. The Divine Feminine is still not 100% convinced. She's not she's not uh, she's not fully trusting that he is in the space that he is right now, because it has taken quite a long time for her to attract the divine masculine into her life. It's taken a long time for her to um, it's taken quite some time for her to get to the point vibrationally where she's attracting that counterpart to her. Um, this is more to do with her view of herself, even than the view of her, or the view that she has of the divine masculine, because the view she has of herself is always going to be reflected in the divine masculine, because that's the nature of twin flames. That's the nature of divine counterparts, right? You, that person, that other being, is a direct reflection of what you're seeing within yourself. So if she's feeling unsure of him, and by she and him, I don't mean boy and girl, man and woman. I just mean the energy. If the divine feminine energy is feeling unsure of the divine masculine energy because he's been so slow coming, not quite sure if he's gonna, make a move or not. She's like, bro, you are so indecisive. I don't know. Right? She's having this feeling where she's not really sure of him, of whether or not he's sure. So she's guarding herself very much so. She's guarding her heart chakra. She's guarding her solar plexus chakra to make sure that she doesn't step into the same situations that she has in the past, which were, could have been perhaps that she thought other people were her divine counterpart, or that she was just in other mundane relationships where she had to protect herself emotionally because of these other people and what they were giving emotionally. So she felt that she needed to protect herself. Now, if you're a divine feminine and you resonate with this type of language and energy, then you know that um, you're you're likely an empath. You're likely somebody who's very in tuned intuitively, or on some sort of spiritual or religious path that's leading you to some amount of expansion in your life, right? So she she's done so much growing and she's done so much expanding that she's outgrown a lot of the old relationships that she's had, but she's worried that, or she isn't feeling very confident that the divine masculine is a new version of human that she has been able to attract to herself. So, really, what she isn't trusting is her own ability to attract, her own ability to manifest deliberately. Okay. It's not really a reflection of actually him and what's going on, because he's ready. She's not viewing him as that ready being, because she's lacking that view of herself as well, that even she's ready. She is questioning whether or not she's prepared to be the other side of this equilibrium. Okay. And we have the stone here. The stone represents that concrete union, that concrete energy that's created between the two masculine and feminine energies when they come into union. It's also representative of the ancestors on the planet manifest. I like to think that the stones and the rocks here are um, great channelers and connectors to ourselves here on earth, and also to you know the entities and energies and ancestral energies in the higher realms. So the stone represents a connection between here and there. The reason why it's a stone is because stones and rocks are the oldest beings on the planet. um, you have pebbles because they were once large boulders and they were, broken down into pebbles. You have rocks because they were, huge pieces of, I don't know, volcano, or huge pieces of a mountain or a waterfall, for instance, that came crashing down and wound up wherever it wound up. These are actually pieces of the earth, and they've always been here. They've never not been here. Every grain of sand that you pick up or that you see is literally been on this planet forever, since the beginning. And so, maybe in that form, maybe in another form, but nonetheless, that thing, that grain, has been in existence for a very long time. So there's a lot of wisdom and strength that come from the rocks and the stones and the actual physical earth itself. So this is about grounding all of what is starting to become for the masculine and the feminine. This is about grounding that energy using the stone technology, using the earth technology to ground it and make sure that it is centered and it manifests in the physical. Um, Up there in the 5D, masculine and feminine have been in union for quite some time now. Even if you haven't met your twin or you haven't met your divine partner, you've definitely been acquainted and doing work in the higher realms of existence. And so now it's about bringing down that union and having it manifest into the real world. So that's what the stone card is about, is bringing it down into manifestation, bringing it down to become manifest in the world. Let's pull some tarot to get some clarity on these three cards. Go for it. You can walk this way in front of me. It's okay. I've quarantined you, so you're allowed. Go ahead.
What is quarantine?
I kept you all in one spot. That's what it means. So I'm going to pull some tarot to get some clarity on for the divine feminine and for the divine masculine separately. This is going to be, I'm not sure that's the wisest route. Just step in front of mommy, it's okay. This is going to be for the divine masculine, I think, first. That's where I'm going to go with this. Let's read some energy for the divine masculine. What is he up to? What's going on? 2 pages. He is feeling as though the divine feminine is viewing him in this way. She's recognizing that he has, all these great qualities, but he's thinking that she is viewing him in this way that is less than what he really is less than what he's able to bring forward. He is trying with all of his might to switch whatever situations, whether it's financially or where he lives, or if he's in a relationship with a karmic partner right now. He's doing his best to try to shift out of that reality and move into this reality where he can build a life with his divine feminine, his counterpart, the way he knows her to be. But he's seeing that she's viewing him not as a king stepping forward, but still as a page, which means that, she's not going to give. Yeah. So here she is, the Queen of Swords. He's viewing her as a queen, and she's viewing him as a page. Not quite there yet. Truth of the matter is that this queen is not going to step off of her throne for anyone beyond another king. So what is the divine masculine's energy actually depicting? I know the page is the energy that he feels that the divine feminine is seeing him in, but what is his actual energy? Where is he actually? Manifestational guru. He's working on himself. He's working on his finance. He is focused on the union. Plain and simple. He is definitely not that page, but he is in work. He is in the progress of creating something new. So maybe he's seeing her viewing him as a page because he knows about how much of the transformational work that he's putting in and how much transforming he's done and how much transformation he's about to have. So he's thinking that because he's putting in all of this work, here are the cards, beautiful cards, by the way, because he's putting in all of this work to make such vast changes for himself, he's like, she must see me as, this incompetent fool. She must view me as not being able to handle my affairs because, she came into my life and I didn't have everything perfectly the way I wanted it to be. But rest assured, you better believe that the divine masculine is like on one, ready to get moving, ready to get started, ready to start manifesting. He's a manifestational guru right now. He's putting together all of the pieces of his mind and all of the different assets and talents that he has. And he is working like heck on himself to make sure that he can step into this union up to her expectations. Because you better believe this Queen of Swords is not playing around. She's one badass bitch, and she's not going to let a page penetrate her life. She knows that a page still has, steps to take, work to be done, things to learn. She is only going to make space for a king. And so it's important that he continues to work on himself. He's seeing this. This is the divine masculine speaking here. He's wanting to work on himself because he doesn't feel that she's viewing him in the kingship that he's viewing himself in, because his actual energy is the magician. He's a manifestational guru. He's magical. He's making shit happen. He is in union with the universe and expecting the things that he's wanting to create. He's not doubting himself and he's not doubting the universe. So why then is he seeing his reflection in the divine feminine to be something that is less than? What is that about? What is that about divine masculine? Because it's new, because it's something that he was just given, because it's something that he didn't realize that he was going to be deserving of such a a wonderful love. He didn't realize that he was going to be someone who was granted this sort of gift, and he knows that it's a gift. He sees the divine feminine as a star. She is the sun. She is the end all. She's the cherry on the sundae. Um, he views her as, you know, the prize. And so if he's viewing her as the prize, but not feeling up to that standard himself, then of course, he's gonna think that she's viewing him as less than. Truth is that he's also viewing himself as less than, when that's not so. The universe is wanting the divine masculine to continue on working on himself. It's important, masculines, that you you continue to work on yourself, continue to hold your vision, and step out of these negative conversations that you're having with yourself that allow you to not step into this union, this relationship from a king perspective, because I'm telling you, these two do not match up with one another. She's not going to waste her time on somebody that's bringing page energy forward. She doesn't have time to teach you. She's got other people and other things to take care of. So you're going to have to step into your kingship on your own, which is exactly what this union is about, right? Two people, two whole beings coming together to create something new, not one whole being and one person who's still in need of whatever it is that they need, some sort of mothering or fathering, or whatever wounds they have, they bring them along with them. That's not what this is about. This is about two emotionally strong, um, vibrationally sound people who are capable of manifesting for themselves, and then those two people coming together, creating union and creating something new from there. All right, let's jump into the divine feminine here, because I know the divine masculine is seeing her as the Queen of Swords, which she is, but I'm feeling like there's a little more softness to it. So let's tap into the divine feminine energy now. We got two cards right off the bat: the Chariot and the Nine of Pentacles. It's one of my favorite cards. The reason is because it represents like bursting from the seams with love and abundance. It represents um, being full, having food, good food, great meals. It represents maybe even being a little gluttonous sometimes, but just a little, just because it's there and plentiful and there's enough to share and go around 8 more times. There's just so much abundance of energy, or sorry, the energy of abundance in this card. That's why it's my favorite. In this case, the divine feminine right now is rapidly shifting. Rapidly. This is the Chariot card. Okay, she is taking both the dark and the light energies in herself and making shifts consistently on a daily basis. And so, because her shifts have been so frequent, um, that's sort of what's what's being needed to, like, being, sorry, not needed, but sensed by the divine masculine, as maybe she's a little closed off, a little bit of a stone heart, you know, Queen of Swords, no type of energy, like, nah, don't even bring that shit to me type of energy. Um, she's not. I mean, she is doing that, but the truth of the matter is that she's going through so many shifts vibrationally that when she's presented with something that she's not in alignment with, or that isn't in alignment with her, that she just doesn't like, she is quickly not changing the thing or getting upset at it, but shifting herself to attract something new. So he's going, listen, if I am not in alignment with what she's shifting towards, I can tell she's going to shift right out of my focus really quick and easy. So Divine Feminine is on a roll. She is making some very, very, very great changes. She's no longer blinding herself. She's no longer falling victim to old patterns, um, or old belief systems that were holding her. She was holding herself back by subscribing to these things, and she's no longer doing that. She is stepping out of that energy and into the energy of abundance and love. She's not even focused on the divine masculine. Yeah, as I say his name, she's viewing him still. She is viewing him as a page. Not quite there yet, not quite ready yet. I mean, if he was ready, then they'd be the Four of Wands. Where's the Four of Wands? I won't look for it now, but they'd be the Four of Wands, and they're not. And so she's recognizing that, yes, this is my divine masculine, and I see all of that, but he hasn't manifested it yet. He's working on manifesting it. That is what the Page of Swords does, sorry, the Page of Wands does. He is in learning to become the magician. Okay, here's the baby magician. The king would be, the great, he's a magician himself, but the actual magician is the one who's really doing alchemy and really making shifts in the world. So he's stepping into being this version of himself, and she doesn't quite see that occurring yet. So what she's doing is she is still continuing to manifest for herself, balancing out herself, and she's just not really paying him any mind at all. And I think that that's what's fueling him. Too many. Is it this one? No. What else do you have for us, Divine Feminine? Her energy just seems, yeah. You see him here? The Knight of Swords. She's like, I'm waiting. Come and get me. I'm waiting. But if you come too soon, then you're going to get turned away, because I'm not about the page thing. I'm about the king thing. Her expectation of the divine masculine is incredibly high. Whoever he turns out to be for her, she's like, I don't care. Some of us have met each other. Some of us haven't. Some of us are in union. Some of us aren't. However it resonates for you, right? Excuse me. Every person is on a different part of this journey. So whether or not you insert yourself at the beginning, or you're somewhere in the middle, or somewhere at the end of the storyline, it's irrelevant. You can take this however you need to. But the point here is that she's not going to waste her time on a page. Like I said, the king and the queen of swords are supposed to reign together. So the divine feminine is showing up for the divine masculine as the queen of swords, and for the divine feminine, the masculine is showing up as a little bit of a confused version of the king of swords. She's like, yeah, you've got things in a row, you've got your ducks in a row, sort of, but I need more. And she's not going to settle. She's definitely not going to settle for anything less than what she believes. And there it is, the Ten of Pentacles. So like I said, if this was already happening, if he was already, the magician, the divine masculine, then they would already be the Four of Wands. And this was the other card that I was going to mention, is the Ten of Pentacles. I didn't. I said Four of Wands instead, but it's the same thing. Beyond the threshold, right? After the manifestation of this thing after, you have the grandeur love and everybody's all happy, and then life happens, and then, you create together, you create whatever legacy that you're creating. This is after the crescendo. This is the legacy being built. It's behind closed doors. Say, "Hey, ma'am." "Hi. Hey, ma'am." "Hi." Um, it's behind closed doors, it's after the fact, and it's sort of like the future for her, but she's recognizing in this reading right now, she's saying, "I don't see all of those ducks in a row yet. I see some, I'm hearing great things, I'm seeing great things, I'm sort of enticed, I'm almost leaning my ear to take a listen, but there are still a lot of things that need to be worked on." What the divine feminine needs to do right now is also recognize that this is not something that the divine masculine needs to do. This is actually a perspective shift that the divine feminine has to go through for herself. Okay. She is the one that's creating this view of the divine masculine, believing that he isn't quite exactly there yet. That is her doing, that is her belief. Because, like I said, the universe already said it, spirit has already told us. Divine masculine is in this mode. He is the magician, he is manifesting it. I mean, sure, if someone asked, "Can I get a message from my ex if he really loves me?" I mean, if you have to question, whether or not someone really loves you, then likely the answer is no. I'll be honest. That's what I say. Because love should be evident, love should be obvious. And in this reading, it's the same thing. It's, you know, the divine feminine in this case needs to take off the blinders and discern for herself. You don't need anyone else to tell you whether or not someone's in love with you, because they'll show you and you'll know it. The divine feminine is creating things in her mind, in her space, to help her sort of mask a few things that she hasn't quite come into alignment with, or she hasn't quite dealt with from her past. There's still some things that she needs to work out, and she's rapidly, like I said, she is rapidly moving forward and transforming. But that transformation, um, is definitely going to have to do with her internal child work, going in within herself, and making sure that she's healing whatever wounds that are left over. Because the divine twin, the divine flame, the divine soulmate, whatever the hell you want to call it, that experience has everything to do with the self and not anything to do with the other person. It has to do with, that person and how they're reflecting your energy to yourself. So if you're divine feminine seeing the divine masculine as lacking, it's because there's something within yourself that you are lacking. You have to remember to go back to that perspective every single time. If he's manifesting or she's manifesting in this particular way, then what is it within myself that I'm seeing those, or that those things are being called onto me? Those things are being presented to me by virtue of this love that I have, right? What are the shifts that I need to make in order to attract something different and pull something different from my interaction with them? Okay. It's always has to come back to self every single time. Divine masculine seems like he has a hold on that. Like he has a grip. He knows where the divine feminine is and how she's seeing him, but he's seeing himself as the truth. He knows that he's the magician. He's trusting in himself. He's waiting for her to drop the last bits of what's the word I'm looking for? He's waiting for her to drop the last bits of not discernment. What's the word, spirit? Lack of trust. He's wanting her to be confident in who he is. And he recognizes that she's still got wounds within herself that is allowing her to be afraid of what he might not have, even though he's coming forward with all of it. So this is it's crazy. The divine masculine almost is speaking through on both cases here. He's offering energy from his own um, spread, and he's also offering energy from the divine feminine spread. And he's saying that she is this abundant being, but she still has some wounds to heal so that she can stop reflecting this, or sorry, this, you know, back onto her. She's viewing him as lacking in some way. And rather than view him as lacking, she needs to see where in her life she's experiencing lack. All right, let's pull. All right, baby. I'll be done in a moment and then we can go and work that out, okay? Okay. Off you go. Give me a moment. I'll be done in 2 minutes. I'm just going to pull one more card, okay? So, nope. I'm going to pull one more card just for a quick divine message. Maybe there's some extra guidance that somebody needs out there about this awesome twin flame situation that we find ourselves in. And that is Prosperity Lies Ahead, the new moon in Taurus. Beautiful card. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card. So, this is again about that trust, right? And this is what the reading earlier on Facebook ended with as well. Not the same card, but a similar message. This is that trust, divine feminine trusting her own intuition, divine feminine trusting, that what she's being presented with is actually what it is. She isn't being given a 6 for a 9, like my dad likes to say. She's seeing and understanding and reading truth from what is. Um, this is about trusting the process of things, making sure that you're in alignment with everything because you have such trust and faith in the fact that when you're putting forward, the energy that you put forward. So when you go internal and you heal something within yourself, the energy when your energy shifts, what you're giving to the world is then what you begin to attract. That's why it's so important to try to attain some amount of personal healing, especially if it has to do with any sort of past trauma, because as you move through trauma and you shift your vibration about those thoughts, what happens is then you're offering a different vibrational signature. And things will in turn be attracted to you that are more in alignment with this new signature rather than the old one. So that's the idea here, is trusting that process. The truth is, there is such thing as universal law. The law of attraction is one of those universal laws among many. And so if you are knowing this, if you've been given the opportunity to learn this, it's important then to start using it. Okay? Remember who you are. Remember the power that you have. The self is very important. The twin flame, the divine love, divine partnerships energy is about a perfect reflection of oneself. So don't just use this person as an idea of what love should be. Use that person as an idea of who you want to be. If they're manifesting for you in a way that you don't like, then go internal and figure out what it is within yourself that you're not liking. Because I guarantee every single time without fail, that's exactly what needs to be addressed. And that is the message that Spirit has for the divine flames today. I love you all. Thank you for watching. I really, really appreciate it. What does it say? Well, here's the thing. If you have such specific questions, what you can do is send me an email and we can set up some time and maybe I can do a reading more specific for you. My email address, that is to Siha. Um, my email address is Edenrose, EDENROSE 586 at gmail.com. So yeah, peace and love to you. I hope that this is helpful in some way. Happy Monday. Bye.